So we'll be doing the transmission fluid flush. The car has about 130,000 miles. This is the connector plate that we'll be replacing because the old O-rings have gone, and I believe I do have a leak. Here's a part number for it. We'll be filling the ATF with this. Might as well take it out of the bag. Pentosin ATF 134. We'll need a 5mm hex for this is 5mm for the drain bolt. Catch pan. This is the filter we'll be using, the transmission filter, transmission oil filter. Here's a model number for that one. And we will be using, we'll need a key. This is a lock pin for the transmission. We'll be also replacing the washer of the existing drain bolt with the new one. And I have the gasket, which is also Mercedes, and we will require the transmission. I just want to give a shout out to fcpeuro.com, where I got the connector part from for the transmission service. People have experienced leaks with these, so you have to change the connector, basically get the updated O-rings from the original one. So what's great about FCP Euro is that every part you buy is guaranteed for life, including wear items. So brake pads, brake rotors. Buy the new ones, send the old ones back. They will refund the money. The only thing they won't only thing they won't give you money back for are consumables like oil. Like I also bought the Pentosin oil for the ATF, the 134 spec. They won't give it because it's a consumable item, so they're not going to give you money back for that. However, this is a lifetime warranty on this and other wear items. So shout out to FCP Euro. Check them out, fcpeuro.com. And I bought, like I said, I bought these from there, and I'm going to buy other parts from there. I didn't know about it. I didn't know about them when I bought the transmission filter and the gasket. Had I known about it, I would have bought it from them. But instead I got them from a Mercedes dealer. So they sell OEM parts. So I got the original Mercedes parts from FCP Euro. I bought these from them. So check them out. Guaranteed for life. Check out their website. So what I have done is I do have the truck on ramps, as well as put jack stands under the body right here. This is the jacking point, and I can't actually. I could put it here. There's enough room. Last time when I tried it, there wasn't enough room, but I guess I could have put it here maybe. But I have it on the body over there. So it's double the protection, ramps as well as that. I've been using the ramps lately, so I do want to have another level of protection, since I'll be going directly underneath the engine, right in the heart of it, because that's where the transmission is. The transmission pan is right here, right behind the engine. So we'll start with the draining the 5mm bolt to remove the transmission. We'll be going under the belly of the beast, as I say. And I have some leaks. Perhaps it's also easy to get to from the side. But as you can see, this is all black right here, all this part compared to what was there before. So, and there's more over here. I do believe I need to change the connector plug, which I believe is right over here, and it is specifically leaking from the connector plate, I guess, because you can see there's all this oil right here. So I have to change the connector plug, I believe. Ouch, this is hot, and I only on it for like a few minutes. I can't believe how hot the muffler is. Yeah, the car was only on for, holy crap. So yeah, we'll have to change that. As you can tell, it's leaking from there. And we will start with the drain plug, which is over there. Alright, let me get my 5mm hex. It would help if I have this in reverse. And I apologize, my camera keeps tilting backwards because I'm practically flat on my back. And Unfortunately, I can't get my drain bolt out, and I believe I've also stripped it. As you can see, the white aluminum on the inside. So I'm going to do it the horrible way, which is drop the pan. I was able to loosen all of the 6 T30 Torx bolts, which are right here. There's 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to undo the rear and have it fall out, and then undo the front, and then just slowly let it drain, and hopefully moisture will come out, and then drop the fan. This cable is in the way, so I guess I'll have to or this wire. I think it's the transmission return line from the radiator. Obviously I can't move that, so as the drop falls, I'm just going to slide it out. Again, this is the front of the vehicle right here. That's the back of the vehicle right there. And unfortunately, I can't undo this drain bolt, so I'm going to use the T30 Torx, which is what this is, to loosen all around it, let it drain off the back, hopefully, and then pull the pan. It's going to be very messy. That's the unfortunate thing. Alright. Okay, I just loosened a couple of the bolts, and the oil started spilling out. So let me show you. And by the way, I do recommend wearing safety goggles, as I'm wearing right now, because there's a lot of dust. So Okay, so I undid those, completely taken out, and started loosening these, and it started spilling from the back. And as you can see, I have a plastic sheet inside a cardboard box, and then a foil tray to capture the oil. So it's black. It was due for a change. I think the new oil going in is red. So yeah, this was totally black. The only thing I'm upset about is not being able to open that drain plug. But I want to see if after cleaning it, if I'm able to remove it or not mess with it. Maybe get a new pan bolt, I don't know. But now my next step is to loosen the other 6. And I somehow have to hold it like this and bring the catch pan closer and undo the rest of the bolts. So I can't do this with the camera, unfortunately, but you get the idea. I've loosened here. I'm going to loosen more of these. I need one hand to hold this up while it starts to drip. Hopefully it shouldn't be so bad. So I dropped the pan, held on to it. Actually, that transmission line came in handy because it sort of held on to it. And I'm just going to stick another pan here. Some of the screws fell inside this tray that I've put together. I still have the filter on here, so I'm going to remove the filter now and let it drip into this pan. Again, here's the old gasket, and here's the old pan, which I want to clean. Also, the heat shield fell down. This is the heat shield right here. And this, I believe, is just a straight pull. And obviously, I know it's going to leak right where it connects. So, and I just want to do it such that it doesn't grab my hand. So I'm not sure how much you guys can see this, but anyway, I wish I had taken the video of me dropping the pan just for my own, edification, for my own gratitude. But anyway, it was an effort because you had to hold on to it, and there's a lot of liquid that just fell right out. And see how much it's filled. I don't know how much that is, but that's how much I'll have to put back in. So I believe it's a lot of oil. And I believe, as I was leaking oil, I've leaked a lot of oil, although I don't know how much from that connector. So I'll need to put that connector back and fix that leak. The important thing is going to be, changing the connector, and also the other important thing is going to be how much oil we're going to be putting back. Alright, so I'm just going to undo this. Just trying to have it avoid hitting me. And you want to make sure that this O-ring is here. See, I have the O-ring right here. So you want to make sure that when you take it out, that you get this O-ring off and it's not stuck somewhere. So here, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there's a black O-ring right here. Again, I'll double check that. And if you're ever in the mood for an oil bath, here you go. Okay, so here we have the pan, the gasket, which I will happily be throwing out. The pan's kind of heavy, I don't know, maybe about 4 pounds. Obviously all the screws, the heat shield. This one does disconnect. I believe it's a T30, so I'm going to disconnect that one. And these holders and the bolts. So I'm going to use brake clean and clean everything out. Obviously clean out the pan with brake clean. I have yet to stick my hand in here. Okay. Crap. Okay. I'm trying to see what kind of residue I can get. This slimy stuff here definitely looks like, you know, like gel as opposed to just oil. So there's definitely some slimy crap in here with the magnet. So there was definitely a lot of garbage, metal shavings, and maybe that's what's leading it to be somewhat of a jello substance. As you can see here, it's some more jello crap stuck on here. So we'll definitely have to brake clean that one. And I'm just going to get the majority of the oil out of here, and again use brake clean to clean under it, and also clean the underside of the pan, not where all the internals are, but the outer rim. So this outer rim of the pan, I'm just going to put some brake clean on a cloth and just wipe it. I'm not going to spray brake clean into it, but just put it on a cloth and then I'm putting the gasket on it, and hopefully it should just mount over it, go along the edges. You want to make sure that it's in all the way. I do have a scratch here in my pan, as you can see. I hope it doesn't rust or anything like that. I don't know where the scratch came from. I think it was there from before, from the factory. But okay. So now we have the pan in, and we're going to be putting it back in. So now I have the gasket in, and I'm just going to initially hold it up so that the oil stops dripping. Put 2 bolts, and then tighten up the rest after cleaning up. Oh, I have to put the filter in first. So the most important thing, which I forgot, which is this right here. And I got a bunch of other gaskets and stuff. I have no idea what these things are. I didn't even realize about them. Oh, this must be the drain bolt for the transmission and the filler plug. I'm thinking, should I try to remove it and put a new one in? I think I will do that. I think this is much better off than the previous one. Unclip the clip that's holding the connector so that we can replace it. And it is right here. You can see the white clip, which is this thing right here. So I'm going to pull it down to dislodge it, and hopefully that should work. Sometimes this is hot, so be careful you don't touch that. So let's see how well this works. Okay, it moved after some, and it moved. Let's see if it loosened the cable. Okay, now it's loosed. You can see that's the position it needs to come all the way down. Now let's see if does the cable come out. I'm expecting some oil to fall from it. So there is oil there. This plug. And as you can see, there's oil dripping out of it. So I am just going to keep that right here. and have it continue to get rid of all the oil that's in there. And then we're going to use a 7mm bolt. Again, you can't see inside, so it's almost like, based on the pictures I've seen, you know, you have to feel it. Grab the 7mm screw, turn it counterclockwise. I hope it comes off, and then remove the inside connector. So I am going to work on that right now. Okay, by feeling around, I was able to get my socket, my 7mm socket, with a 1/4 inch extension onto the screw. And obviously you can't see it, so you just have to feel around for it. Now I'm going to put the ratchet on it and then unscrew it, and that'll allow me to take this one out. And then hopefully and nicely putting the new one in. I'm just trying to mark it with this tab is sort of aligned with this top part of the metal. So when I put it in, I want to make sure that that's where this part is. So I'm trying to, memorize these ridges and just how this looks like, so that when I put the new one in, that's where it is, and then I tighten it. See, mine, the O-ring fell off. It's right there. It literally slid easily off, and there's a lot of dirt all around here, and obviously a lot of the oil spillage. So even this one is extremely loose, not tight like the other one, the new one. So again, you have to feel it with your hands, unfortunately, and then unscrew it. Not too many turns, and then it comes right off. And now I am going to put the new one in. It's quite difficult to get this connector back on. The new O-ring is thicker. I actually had to hammer it. I just put a ratchet in front of it and hammered it so I don't break the plastic. Again, very delicate taps with the hammering. And I have some light. As you can see, the O-ring is not visible here. If the O-ring is visible, that means it's not all the way in. And then I tighten the 7mm bolt. But you need to make sure that the O-ring goes inside, and that's the only way the 7mm bolt will latch onto the inner one, and you'll be able to tighten it. Now I'm just going to wipe this clean, put it in, and then lock the white nut. So the hardest part today so far was to get this connector back in, because of the washers. The new washers are thicker than the old ones, and they just took a while to get in, so I had to end up hammering it in. Again, when you put the 7mm bolt, when you tighten it, do not over tighten it, please, because it may break. Thanks. As you can see, I was able to put the cable back in. Again, it just naturally flows in. That's the way it's been. So just the way the cable has been, it just goes right in, and then you turn this up all the way to the right until you hear it click, and then it latches in the cable. So now I'm just going to clean around here with some brake clean on the outside, and then start putting the pan in, and then clean out, clean, put the oil filter here. I keep forgetting to put the oil filter. And then put the pan in. The thing with the oil filter is to make sure, obviously it's got the ring here, the O-ring here, make sure, and then this tab needs to fit inside that slot. So and I think it just gets held there and held here. I guess once it goes into that slot, it gets held in both places. Now I'm just going to use some brake clean and clean out the outer areas. So here's the clean out oil pan. Again, I was not able to get the drain plug out, so I left some marks, like scratch marks. So I just put some primer so that it doesn't get rusted. There's a magnet, and here's a new gasket. I want to put the center bolts in first, and then tighten them. We need to tighten this to 8 Newton meters, which is 5.9 foot-pounds. heard it click. Let's do this side. Oh, these were hand tightened initially. Based on the tray that I had, I think I just poured a gallon of water into another tray. So I've taken about 3 quarts and plus the spillage. So let's say 4 quarts, so about a gallon. So I'm going to put 4 quarts in there for now. Since I had oil, since my oil has leaked through the connector, I think I've lost more oil. Here's where put the oil, remove the red tab, break it off, remove cap, and here's the funnel. I'm going to pour the oil in, and like I said, I'm going to put in 4 quarts, start her up, and go through the gears, move off of it, get it off the ramp, let it warm up, and then check the level. Now this 5-liter container is pretty nice. It extends up front, up on top, and it's splash proof. So although initially I didn't extend it, so it was splashing a little bit, but after extending it, it's pretty good. So a little bit more to go to put 4 quarts in here. With the leakage, with the spillage, I believe I put, I think I took, a gallon has come out, no, 4 liters has come out. So I think I should be good.